Hey team, how you doing today? I am Sergeant First Class Roundtree. I am highly motivated. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be your military science instructor at the University of Puerto Rico Rio Piedras program, and specifically, I get the opportunity to work at the UMET Intermetro campus. So before I get started, I want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, we have to start out with our safety considerations. So safety, we know in the military, is a critical factor. Why? Because we always have to do risk mitigation. Risk mitigation meaning we know that there are dangerous considerations out there, whether it's driving to work, whether it's going outside to get the mail, right? So what's considerations we need to have in order to protect our element, whether it's our family, our friends, or our organization. So right now, before I get started, I just want to say something. Hey, listen, especially to talking to the millennials, Gen Xers, or even some of these baby boomers that are still a little excited. It's important that you take the proper precautions necessary in order to protect yourself, i.e., what I'm doing right now, hey, I got this mask on. No, I'm not going to wear this mask during this presentation. It's fogging my glasses up, right? But I just want to demonstrate the importance of wearing your mask and doing whatever it takes to maintain safety, i.e., if you need to wear gloves, do that. Make sure you maintain social distancing. Do whatever is necessary because the pandemic is serious. Yes, people are getting infected, and we can protect ourselves. You are powerful. You are not a victim to the situation. You can be that first line of defense, and it starts with doing something as simple as putting your mask on, maintaining social distancing, doing the proper hygiene, and making critical decisions, i.e., hey, do I need to go here? Do I need to go there? Can I avoid that situation, or can I visit another time, or can I call? Can I do a YouTube video? Can I email? Can I text? Just take the proper precautions. Also, if necessary, go ahead and get tested. I was fortunate enough, as well as my cadets, to go get tested to make sure that we were not carrying the virus. Go get tested if it's possible. Before you travel, get tested. After you travel, make the wise decisions, not just for you, but also for those who might be predisposed, right? So just keep those in consideration. Before I get started, I had to talk about safety considerations because it is critical that we don't act like, hey, nothing's going on. Maybe people in your environment might not be infected. Maybe your family's safe. That's great. But let's keep it that way, all right? So I'm going to actually continue on this without this mask. But I want to demonstrate the importance of us actually working together and thinking about the community. We are not just here for ourselves. We are part of a greater community. We are part of a team. Everybody's part of a team. All right, so before I get started, I want to talk about a couple things. Hey, first of all, it's a great opportunity to be a leader. It is something that I believe is a privilege, and I love to serve. Being a part of the United States military gives me that opportunity to actually be there for somebody else. My whole focus is not just about me as an individual person. As a servant, I know that I'm here for an overall purpose, right? To serve my nation, to serve my subordinates, my seniors, my peers. As a non-commissioned officer, I have the responsibility to be an advisor, not only for those who work with and around me, but also those that are senior to me, so they can make the proper decisions that are necessary for them to represent our nation and our government and every one of our taxpayers, as well as this global community that we're a part of. So first of all, I want to say that if you have the opportunity to serve in the military, you have something that you cannot pay for. You cannot go and, pay for the opportunities that we have to serve in the military. However, this opportunity is not for everybody. I don't want anybody to be confused about it. Everybody can't be a servant, right? You do need to be qualified. You have to meet the qualifications to be a servant. And we're going to talk about some of those things a little bit later. But I just want to, first of all, talk about that it is a blessing to be a part of an organization that does believe in servant leadership, that teaches critical principles in order for you to be a strategic leader worldwide, an effective leader worldwide that can work in any environment. So just like I got done talking about safety consideration, risk mitigation, things like that. It's critical for us to think about what's going on right now in the time that we're living in. What are we dealing with right now? We're dealing with challenges with unity and diversity. These are issues. There are people in our nation who don't feel like they're a part of the conversation as far as access, as far as opportunity, as far as constitutional rights, as far as benefits. There are people who don't feel like they're being included. Now, you might say, hey, well, that's their problem. Or you might say everybody has, the same access and the same opportunities, right? Regardless, if anybody in our community feels like they are not giving the proper opportunity or the proper access to something, as a member of a team, we all empathize, right? And we go down and we meet them where they are. I want you to know that being in the military has helped me, in particular, coming from my background, to think about the organization from a large scale level, not just me in my foxhole, not just me in my vicinity, in my area, but I now think about every level of leadership and every member of my team. And it's now my duty. I take the ownership. I carry the burden of whatever weights that they might be bringing with them, and also aiding them in providing solutions how they can alleviate that weight or those structures that they might feel are obstacles to their goals. This is what I do as a profession, as a leader, as a United States Army soldier, NCO, leader, non-commissioned officer. I have been equipped with the opportunity to learn how to place myself in the position, in the fighting position, in the trenches or wherever that person is, and look at life from their vantage point, and then aid them, one, listening to the things that they see, their feedback, right? And then also providing some tools, if I can, and or taking their assessment to another level to get solutions. So with that being said, I have learned how to be a servant leader by placing myself where the fire is at, and then being resolute and finding ways to put that fire out. Now, some of us have not been actually challenged to do it in the ways that you get the opportunity to do so in the military. What am I talking about? Let me give you an example. First of all, when I joined the military, I was from Kansas City, Missouri. I lived in Nebraska for a stint. I lived in Colorado for a stint. So the Midwest is really the region I'm from. When I joined the military, I actually started working with people from all over the Union. And I'm talking about not only just in the mainland, I'm talking about Alaska, I'm talking about Hawaii, I'm talking about the Caribbean, in particular Puerto Rico. I had the opportunity to actually work with diverse backgrounds, religious, gender, sexual orientation, you name it. I was challenged with the opportunity to actually see things from a different way of thought. What that did was expanded my world. It expanded my world and it expanded my options. This is why the time frame that we're living right now is really calling for another generation of leaders, a generation of leaders that's willing to look at this fire, look at the weights that some of the members of our teams are facing, and not be afraid to touch those subjects, not be afraid to say, hey, how you doing today? What's going on? What's on your mind? In the United States military, I have been privileged with the opportunity to have those conversations in the workplace and also find solutions for people to feel like they are a part of this team that is their team. With that being said, in the ROTC program, we're here to equip tomorrow's and today's generation of leaders that are ready to take on today's challenges as well as the unknown dynamics that might come in the future. How do we do that? How do we address those things? How do we actually equip these soldiers with these dynamics? It's through the art of military science. Military science takes on the world's greatest challenges throughout history and provides courses of actions, assessments, analysis of historical events that have taken place in history, as well as modern day approaches on how we can resolve problems that political leaders often are at loss on how to accomplish. When military policy is in effect, it's because why? Political policy has failed. With that being said, when I talk about that, let's just be honest. The task of responding to a natural disaster, that's a huge event, right? Who's equipped to do that? Well, we have FEMA. We have all type of organizations that do that, right? But we as military professionals, officers and COs, we love challenges. We're the type of people when something's wrong, we don't run away. We're the one that we run to see, right? I.e., what can I do to help? What can I do to help pull this vehicle out, this person out of this burning vehicle or this crushed vehicle? What can I do to help somebody who's bleeding out? Can I stop their blood? What can I do to help somebody who's dealing with potential of flood and they need to find a way to get themselves and key belongings out? All right. We're the ones that come in the helicopter. We're the ones that come and bring food, water, clothing, shelter. The United States military is an organization that's designed to deal with the most difficult challenges that our society faces. And it all starts in the ROTC program. It all starts in an environment where students are learning how to perform or how to lead or how to gain proficiency in their college field of study. In addition, we are equipping them with strategic leadership so they can not only be effective at what they pursue in their degree programs, but in addition, they are going to be effective at unforeseen challenges that might face the generations of the future. If we want to talk about military science, we want to talk about ROTC, there are so many names that we could talk about. Generals, presidents, political leaders who found themselves studying military science in addition to their field of study and went on to be the problem solvers of our time. What are going to be the problems of the future? We know what we're facing right now in 2020. What are going to be the problems of the future that one day you might have the opportunity to solve? In the military science program, you're going to have that opportunity to actually look in the past, evaluate the present, and also engage on the discussions of the future that you can be a part of that solution. I'm talking about economic solutions. I'm talking about natural solutions, i.e. dealing with nature, right? Because in the military, we address those things. We pay attention. We do science. We do research. A lot of people are unaware of the amazing career paths that are in the military that are waiting for them to embark upon in order to be that change. Now, this is not for the faint of heart. This career is not for those people who want to sit at a desk for the rest of their life, and sit back. These are people who get up and get out and go and make it happen. If you are one of those people that are excited about, hey, what can I do to not only learn something, but what can I do to give back and be a servant to my community, to my neighborhood, to my city, to my town, to my country, to the world? ROTC is the place for you to gain that knowledge, those tools, so you can go serve on a higher level. So my name is Sergeant First Class Roundtree. I am the military science instructor for the ROTC program at the Intermetro campus, who also serves UMET. And at our institution, we aid anyone from a sophomore, junior, and senior, based on the trimester system we have at our campus, in the process of becoming an Army officer. Now, what is that going to mean for you? Well, I'll tell you what's going to mean for you. It's going to mean that you're going to challenge yourself. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, first of all, we're going to have academic standards for you. We're going to have academic expectations that we are looking for you to maintain. That means that if you're going to be in our program, we're not looking for people who are getting by. We're looking at people who exceed the standard. That means that you need to exceed the standard academically in order to qualify to be an Army officer. Now, understand that when you become an Army officer, you're not joining the Army and just doing what you're told. You're going to be given the responsibility of a section, of a platoon, where you might be responsible for anywhere from 14 to 40 soldiers every day, their welfare and their efficiency and effectiveness. That means that we're looking for a high quality, high tier leader. And that leader is you. It's my job to aid and assess and evaluate you and also equip you with the tools you need to do that job on a high level and demonstrate the Army values. One of those being honor. So with that being said, we want not just a couple, we want a few, but we want some good men and women who are willing to take on that challenge, which also requires an academic expectation. In addition to that, academic expectation is a physical fitness expectation. What is that? That means that, yes, we do not want fat bodies, right? We don't want people who don't see an importance of maintaining a certain level of physical fitness so that if the weather is hot, they are capable of sustaining themselves. If the weather is cold, they are capable of sustaining themselves. If they need to go a long distance, they are capable of sustaining themselves. They carry themselves in a way that provides a posture of confidence, of due diligence, because we do know that physical fitness has a strong impact on leadership. And a person who has strong physical fitness also means that person is going to have the stamina and the endurance to navigate a challenge for people who are willing to do the work, that have the character that is necessary for them to be effective, not only Rico, but also to be effective worldwide. So here we are, waiting on you to let us know what we can do to create a future that is going to be something beyond your comprehension or even your capability to understand. And why do I say that? Because I'll tell you, I started my journey in the military 14 years ago, and I had no clue of the capacity that I would have to learn and to earn. What does that mean? That means my journey as a student is a lifelong process. I don't have a profession where you master it and you're good. I don't have a job where 2 or 3 years you got it. I have a job where I'm constantly placed in an environment or a system or a structure where my mouth and my ears are open and my eyes are wide to receive knowledge. And not only knowledge from leaders, but subordinates, from peers, and from counterparts that I work with, not only in the US, but worldwide. In addition to that, as I continue to learn and demonstrate my knowledge, I continue to earn. I earn financially. Something that we also don't talk about is the feeling that you have of accomplishment that you earn when you practice something and you go through the disciplines necessary to master that craft. So with that being said, I'm super excited that I have the ability to learn for a lifetime, and in addition to earn, i.e., I can pay and take care of my bills. I can take care of the needs of my family. I can travel. I can explore. I can share. I have the ability to give back economically. So it's important that learning, but earning. Another thing that we often forget about is pride. And when I say pride, I'm not talking about egotism. I'm talking about the pride of knowing that you can. And there's a confidence that comes with that pride when you know that you can accomplish something despite your fears, despite the dangers that might be potentially in or around the vicinity of your dreams and goals. In the military, we teach those principles. In the military science program, we aid that process for personnel who are in the college environment who want to kind of move beyond just being a student, but also being a servant and also being legendary. And that's right, legendary, because you are going to impact not only the lives of the people that you are interacting with in the program, but there are soldiers who are joining the military who are waiting for you to be their platoon leader, their captain, their colonel, their major, their lieutenant. They're waiting for you to take on that opportunity to serve. And it's my duty and it's my pleasure and my honor to be a part of that process. And on that day, when your leadership has an eternal impact. So I'm excited. We're going to talk about a couple things today. If you want to catch up on some of the uploaded about the RTC process, if you're interested in becoming an Army officer and you will love to serve on a higher capacity, I'm encouraging you to go check out our Facebook page. Also, check us out on Instagram as well. And you're on our YouTube channel right now. So some of the things outside of what we do during the school semester is some summer training. And I've talked about it before, but I'm kind of run this as summer training. So a couple of things we do, for example, we do basic camp. What is basic camp? Basic camp is an environment for you to kind of see what the initial requirements are. So you're going to have the opportunity to interact with drill sergeants. You're going to have the opportunity to fire and fire weapon systems, to do some land navigation. You're going to have the opportunity to actually go out into the field and do things without power, do things without the conveniences that you're so accustomed to, and get comfortable with nature, get comfortable with being outside, the weather, the insects, the animals, and recognize that those things are actually things that you can benefit from spiritually, physically, socially, tactically, in order to accomplish whatever mission that you might have. Because we do know that when we go to Africa, when we go to Asia, when we go to different countries, different places, we want to be able to go anywhere and not be afraid of the terrain, but be able to use the terrain to be able to navigate and also to increase greater relationships with people. So it's super exciting that you get the opportunity to see the benefits of the sleep that you can get outside at night, to be able to provide that shelter for yourself if there's not a hard structure, to be able to look at the stars or to look at the terrain or to look in the environment and to be able to navigate from place to place without your Garmin or your GPS or your cell phone. So with that being said, we're trying to equip you in basic camp with the skills that you need so you know how to confidently navigate, interact, and be effective in a traditional Army environment that might be away from a rural or a city environment. Just give you that confidence to get outside that house and to relax and to be comfortable and to learn and to interact with nature on a deeper level. So aside from that, we have advanced camp. Advanced camp is going to be an environment where you're going to get to go and you're going to navigate and interact in a leadership position. That means that you went to basic camp, you learned the basics of soldiering. Now at advanced camp, you're going to have the opportunity to actually lead a platoon of your peers through various challenges, various environments, various terrain, various situations that will assess your ability to make decisions, to make assessments, to be able to give instructions and commands, and to be able to fix whatever situation you find yourself challenged with, right? So you're going to have that opportunity. You're going to have that opportunity to challenge yourself physically, mentally, and socially away from your traditional college environments. You're going to get the opportunity to travel to various locations and be given the opportunity to meet people from all around the Union. So it's a great opportunity that you're going to have at advanced camp. But in addition, there's additional schools, additional identifiers, additional skills that you're going to be able to explore potentially if you do well on a high level, i.e. airborne school, i.e. air assault school, which is going to be a school that's going to teach you how to, one, rappel down a mountain, rappel out of a helicopter, fast rope operations, to be able to identify different, to be able to use and how to use aircraft to move water, food, clothing, life-saving material from one place to another, how to load that, and also how to unload it from an aircraft that's in the air. So that's something you get to experience specifically in the air assault school. In addition to that, you might have the opportunity to actually do airborne training. What is that? That's forced entry. That's going to give you the opportunity to learn how to rig your own equipment up, to put on your equipment, to make sure everything is good on your equipment, and then to be able to exit an aircraft, a high-performance aircraft, potentially, right? And then be able to get to the ground safely. And after you get to the ground, be able to move on to your assembly area and prepare for whatever mission that you have. So this is going to give you, one, the confidence in your equipment. Two, is going to give you the excitement of being able to navigate through the air, which, by the way, I'm airborne qualified, and I will tell you, it is an amazing experience that you'll be given, and you'll have to actually develop confidence in your equipment and aircraft to navigate through the air. And also when you get on the ground, your ability to navigate after you arrive on the ground in a very quick way, and from after leaving a separate environment. These are things that like people pay thousands of dollars to do, that you're going to have the United States military through your military service sponsoring you to have these opportunities and to develop your knowledge and your capability to be able to solve whatever problems that potentially could come up in the future for our nation, and also to protect those who are in need of support. So that's just a little bit of discussion as far as summer training. Something else that's really beneficial for you is DOI, and that is this is an institution that's designed to aid you in increasing your English proficiency so that you can go on and lead soldiers regardless of the fact that maybe English is not your first language. And you might say, well, that's I can speak English. Well, can you speak English in a way that you understand what people are saying to you? How well do you write English? And can you speak into a formation of 40 to 100 plus soldiers? And will they be able to understand you exactly what you want them to do? DOI is going to aid you, it's going to test you, it's going to evaluate, it's going to assess your ability to be able to articulate that. And in the ROTC program, you're going to have 2, 3, 4 years to actually get that proficiency in English. You're going to have a instructor who, in most cases, were commissioned themselves, and they're going to be there to support you on that journey to become proficient in speaking the language of English. With that being said, think about how you can take your family to the next level just because you're going to be bilingual. In addition to that, you can test in the military and then be paid an additional stipend just because you are Spanish and English capable. So just want to throw that out there, something that you're going to have the opportunity to pursue, DOI, which will benefit you in gaining that English proficiency so you can be effective in your instruction and your leadership as an Army officer. So branches of service, and I talked about a few of these in my last videos. Again, I would encourage you, if you can, go back and check out the videos that I posted on the Facebook page to get a little more information on the RTC program. But I'm going to move forward and cover some of the things that I left off with last time. So let's talk about public affairs. So public affairs is a branch of service that basically allows the civilian sector to see what we do in the military as professionals, as worldwide strategic leaders and servants. So as a public affairs officer, you're going to have the ability to, one, articulate, i.e. writing. So if you're a writer, if you're a journalist, if you're one of those people who's not really, about being behind the camera or in front of the camera, you can be a person who's responsible for editing and writing and producing products that articulate the amazing things that soldiers are doing. In addition to that, you do actually have those that actually stand behind the camera, the reporters, the people who are speaking, articulating the things that soldiers, officers, NCOs are doing. There's going to be video production. You're going to have to be able to navigate social media. You're navigate that articulate the amazing things that public servants are doing worldwide. In addition to that, you have the Quartermaster Corps. The Quartermaster Corps, those people are skilled in their ability to supply the force from anywhere and everywhere in the United States, as well as worldwide. So the Quartermaster Corps are going to be the people who, when you need something, they know what you need. You just tell them the problem, and they'll provide you the product that you need in order to accomplish the goal. If you think about, even right now, let's take COVID-19, and we think about some of the dynamics. While some of us were self-quarantined and things like that, these people in the civilian side of the house were still providing food, clothing, detergents, soaps, all these different things. That still is something that we need every day, right? So we can't do anything. Even when we don't do anything, we still need things in order to make it. And that's the same thing that the Quartermaster Corps provides for the military. So you can take that experience and then move that to the civilian sector. You know that job is always going to be out there for you and available for you, but you're going to have that military service, and you'll be able to say that I did in austere environments and I did it on a high level. So Quartermaster Corps is a great branch that you can serve as an officer in that gives you the Signal Corps. Even what we're doing right now, this is on YouTube. If you look at what the Signal Corps provides and what it does, it is a organization or a branch of the military that is responsible for providing communication. That's on multiple levels: telephone, internet, radio communication, right? So we can't effectively accomplish any task if we don't have that radio communication. That radio communication is critical in order to communicate what we need, where we're going, where we're at. Everything hinges on our ability to communicate. Often when we talk about relationships, people say, we can improve our communication. Communication is critical. So if you can't talk, guess what? There's not a lot of things that you can do if you cannot communicate with somebody. So it's important that, we have access to interact with one another. And that's what the communication branch does through the Signal Corps. So if you're a high-tech person, you love interacting with computers, you love interacting with the internet and devices and things like that, boom, that is the career path for you. Special forces. These are the guys that take infantry to the next level. They say yes, boom, we start a foundation as an infantryman, but we build on top of it, and we are the people that when everybody else says no, when it's too hot, when it's too cold, when it's too high, when it's too dangerous, these are the people that know and are confident in their abilities to create solutions to resolve whatever problem is necessary. In addition to that, these people are capable of going anywhere in the world and teaching, coaching, and mentoring people to be able to stand up for themselves and to defend themselves against any potential threats, as well as to build up independence, self-sufficiency. These are the people who you leave them in a room, you give them a problem, they come up with a solution, and they don't come up with excuses. So if you're one of those people who's like, hey, you know what? I'm an agile thinker, and I'm one of those people that's going to work harder at being smarter versus working harder. These are the people we're looking for as far as the special forces community is a hard-working, smart workers, right? So if you're interested in a career path you cannot find anywhere in the world but in the military, and you want to be able to say, I was a Green Beret, or I am a Green Beret, and to maintain the tradition and the history and the culture of the special forces, boom, come talk to us. We can help you along that path. So the next thing I want to talk about is transportation. Transportation is huge. How do we get from point A to point B? How do we get equipment from point A to point B? How do we get food, water, and clothing, the things that the Quartermaster Corps has, to where the people who need it the most, despite the environment, the terrain? This is transportation. We know that transportation is everything. In the United States, if it's not on a truck, you're probably not going to get it. So with that being said, even in the military, and especially in the military, we have military professionals who are equipped and educated on how to aid in providing the supplies and support that is necessary through multiple forms of transportation, i.e. vehicle, ship, aircraft, and multiple high-performance aircraft, i.e. heavy drops, right? Or rotary wing aircraft, sling loads. There's so many different ways that we need to get the things that we need, even if it's the movement of people or the movement of equipment. Transportation, that's what they do. They're experts at that. And if you want to get some exciting training in addition to what you learn in logistics, maybe on the civilian side of the house, boom, come talk to us. We can aid you on that process. All right, so I'm going to talk about some of the benefits. That's beneficial for you. If you're an ROTC cadet, if you're looking at joining the military, and you're excited about moving forward, these are some of the benefits that you're going to have. You're going to have high-level leadership management communication training. All right, you're going to get an additional interest and focus that you're not going to get in your civilian classes. You're going to get problem solving and strategic skills development, i.e., hey, here's a real world scenario. We're going to actually do some assessment. We're going to look at historical problems, and then we're going to apply different courses of action that we could use. We're going to look at things like measures of efficiency and measures of effectiveness. That's going to be some streamlined analysis and assessments of the things that we're doing and whether or not they're producing the type of things that give us the visualization of the accomplishment of that mission. We're going to talk about those things. In addition, you're going to be able to get scholarships. You're going to have monthly living allowances. I'm going to talk about that shortly. And then you're going to be able to enter the United States military as an Army officer, either on active duty, reserve, or a National Guard. And again, like we talked about earlier, you're going to get those free English. You're going to get your own English teacher, mentor, tutor, coach that's going to help you gain that confidence and proficiency in speaking English. So let's talk about scholarships, right? So in addition to whatever academic scholarships you might have, you can also gain some scholarships through the RTC program. Scholarships, we're looking for a GPA of a 3.0, be able to at least have an APFT score of 75% on each event. For those scholarships, we're looking for a OPI of a 90, a 2.2 for your for scoring on your I'm sorry, I said that wrong. We're looking for an ECL of a 90 and an OPI of a 2.2. So you'll learn more about that. But it's going to be a written examination. Then you're going to have that one-on-one actual correspondence examination where the instructor is going to see whether or not you're capable of talking, responding intelligently, and comprehension in a conversation. So that's huge. Something that I'm still trying to work on myself here in Puerto Rico. Because sometimes I know what people are saying, but I'm not really sure how to respond back to them. So you're going to be able to have that confidence in that conversation. So you won't be one of those people who's talking, but then you're kind of like, I don't really know what they're saying. You're going to gain that mastery. But again, the higher you score, the more eligible you are to get some of these scholarships. In order to qualify for the scholarship, you're going to have to get assessed medically just to make sure that you are physically capable to do the training, that you're going to be able to be safe when you train, and then also that you have the capacity for your physical fitness to increase. You're going to need to, provide that transcript, and then you're going to have to apply your course load to the 104R so that we can kind of place you for a mission set that you're going to graduate, and just make sure that you're on course to graduate at the specific time for commission. You're going to need a police check. That's going to be a requirement for a scholarship, is to ensure that, there's nothing that's in your past that will prohibit you from being able to take that leadership position for soldiers in the future and to be able to effectively lead them. And of course, yes, we're going to need actively maintaining updated transcripts to be able to measure your effectiveness in your academics while you are in school. So some of the things that MS1s are able to benefit from, and that's like a freshman military science student, first year MS1, is a $300 monthly stipend. And then for MS2s, which are your juniors, MS3s, which are typically your sophomores or your first year master's degree students, or MS4s, which are typically your seniors or your second year master's degree students, you pretty much get a $50 increase. It'll go from $300 your freshman year to $350 your sophomore years to $450 your junior year, or $500 to $500 your senior year. And then again, if you are a master's student, you're going to probably start out at a $450 for that first year and then move up to $500 for that second year. So with that being said, let's talk about, hey, how is life going to be, once I finish, I get my gold bar, boom, I'm an Army officer. Let's talk about some of the benefits and some of the economic support for me to be able to serve my nation. So you're looking when you're looking at commissioning as a lieutenant into the best military and the best Army in the world, United States, in the world, you're going to be looking at starting out with a base salary of $32.87. So $32.87 is like your take home. Nobody's touching that. And that is not including some of the things I'm going to talk about a little bit later, some of the benefits that allow you to sustain yourself without using your salary to take care of necessary expenses. And that's just for a second lieutenant in the military. You can look at potential pay increases every year. Give me 1 second. So you're looking at potential pay increases every year of 1.9 to 3.1%. And that basically is going to be a $100 pay increase about every 2 years. So you're looking at constant pay increases just because the price of living is increasing nationwide, and the United States military is going to stay with that so that their soldiers are taken care of while they serve. In addition to that, medical is taken care of for all your dependents, your spouse, your children. They don't have to worry about somebody gets sick, somebody break a leg, how you're going to pay for it. That's not coming out of your salary. You'll have TRICARE. You'll be able to go and get whatever needs are necessary for your dependents taken care of. That includes physical health, mental health, you name it. They're going to have access to nutritionists. They're going to have access to dentists. All those different things are going to be something that you have access to be able to support your family. In addition, you're looking at a stipend for just an allowance for your housing, i.e. your rent, your mortgage. So you're going to have a housing allowance. You're going to have a competitive or comparative allowance based upon where you live. So if I live in a certain area and the average rent for a location is $1,500 or $600 or $2,500 if you're in New York, right? Wherever that is, the military is going to look at that average requirement for rent and a mortgage, and they're going to provide you with that so that you're able, not going into your salary, not going into the hole in order to make it to have a place to stay for your family, but depending on how many dependents you have, right? Something else that's important is that you will get a stipend for your meals. You'll get a subsistence allowance for your meals. Sometimes you're going to be training, and you're not going to be in an environment where you can like go make something in your oven and go to work. So the military is always going to cover you to make sure that you don't have to worry about how you're going to eat. We care about how you're going to perform and giving you the equipment and the tools that you need to perform on a high level. So you're going to get a meal stipend just so you have that sustainment. You have to worry about eating or how you're going to provide your own meals. So you will have that. In addition to that, you have the opportunity to actually study. Actually, while in the military, you can use your tuition assistance. You can use various systems. There are actually assignments that will actually pay for your master's degree. So there's a lot of options and access that you have while you're in the program studying to be after you're in the military, studying to be a better officer, because the Army wants you to increase your knowledge and your proficiency in your field. So if your field is benefited by an MBA or benefited by certain certifications, the military is going to put you through those programs so you stay competitive and comparative to your civilian counterparts in that career path. Something you can't beat is 30 days of vacation that is provided for you every year. So that means that every year you're going to have 30 days paid vacation to be able to go wherever you see fit, take your family there, and you're going to get paid every one of those days that you're on that vacation. How many jobs offer 30 days of paid vacation? So it's a huge incentive, a huge blessing that military service members are able to be benefited from and blessed by. In addition, you're going to be able to have life insurance, $400,000 at a low cost, made available to you in case a situation happens and there's a transition in your life, i.e. you lose your life. Your family will be able to at least get a low-cost insurance for you for $400,000 provided by the military in case of an emergency or a situation. So that is huge. With that being able to say, we are able to go worldwide travel. Not only will you get access to worldwide travel through your duty and responsibilities, but also by being maybe near an Air Force base, you can catch MAC flights and you can catch no-cost flights. I was stationed in Alaska. I was able to catch a no-cost flight to, if I want to go to the mainland, if I wanted to go to Hawaii, if I wanted to go to Japan, there are no-cost flights that if I wanted to, I can get on, I can take my family, and we could go there. I can spend my leave time and then wait for another flight and head back to Alaska. So there's a lot of things that you just have no clue that you have access to just based on your decision to serve in the military, supporting you as you support our nation. So just something I just wanted to share with you guys so you'd be aware of the access and opportunities of life beyond your service in the ROTC program. As you're learning how to be a soldier, how to be a leader, then you move beyond, and there's a lot of benefits for you as you decide to serve. So before I continue on, as we get ready to close, I just want to share this with you. You can reach out to us at the Intermetro Gmail account at enter.metro.bco.rotc@gmail.com. Additionally, you can find us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/enter-metro-rotc. Also, we are on Instagram. You can find us at enter-metro-rotc. And also, our host campus is at the University of Puerto Rico, Rio Piedras. You can find us there. Talk to our RUB, Mr. De Jesus, or you can contact me and Captain Tirado here at Casa Reyes, and we will love to serve you and aid you and assist you on your journey to become an Army officer. So, without further ado, just very grateful to have the opportunity to speak with you today. Maintain the safety that's necessary in order for us to sustain during this time, during this pandemic. Encourage you to do well, continue to do well in your classes as you're pursuing your degree programs. And if you're ready to take on the career of being an Army officer, I, Sergeant First Class Roundtree, am extremely excited and ready to aid you along the process of your journey. Blessings to you, and you have a great day.